Hey, it's Michael Kosta. Welcome to the Tennis Anyone podcast. It is Tuesday, September 17th. Your boy Kosta is back from LA. Before that, Portland, Mississippi studios. Then I was in Seattle at the Triple Door. What a weekend. Holy shit. Big weekend. Big weekend. Sold out show in Seattle. Sold out show in Portland, get on a flight 4 hours later, go to Los Angeles where, what? The Daily Show wins Best Show, and I get an Emmy as a host. It actually says Michael Kosta, comma, host. Big time. What does that mean? Air horn, fireball, surprise, ambulance, meow, rim shot. So crazy. Lots to talk about. Not too much tennis, but thank you, Tennis Anyone listeners. Holy shit, I had people in Seattle, I had people in Portland, I had people in LA. Thank you. I'm now on YouTube. You know that. Thank you for watching on YouTube. And YouTube will be the best place to see what I'm about to do right here, because what I'm going to show you right here is a Memmy. All right, this is a Memmy. This is a Michigan Emmy that I won in 2008. On-camera talent, performer, narrator, host, CCHA All Access, Michael Kosta, Fox Sports Detroit, 2008. Now, I won two of these, and I'm not sure if the first one is 2007 or if this was the first one, but this is a Memmy. This is the Emmy. And it's heavy. It's just like 4 pounds. You know, it's like metal. But let me show you what an Emmy looks like. And I did think in 2008, at some point, I said, I really hope I'll know what an Emmy looks and feels like. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I got it. And I am extremely thankful and extremely proud. We won last year also, but I wasn't listed as a host. Trevor Noah was listed as the host. Duh. So this is really exciting for me, and it's something that I don't take too much value in, awards that people vote on. This is why I love sport. This is why I love tennis, because Janik Sinner won the tournament, period. It wasn't because his peers voted that he won. It's because he won. So inherently it is subjective, and inherently it can be influenced through membership and nomination, and there's just all different types of ways to hope and push for your nomination to win. But still, you take the wins when you can get them. This is what an Emmy looks like. Whew. Look at this. So those of you watching on YouTube can see a very exact same statue. Beautiful statue, by the way. Beautiful. And this one says Academy of Television Arts and Sciences 2024 Emmy Awards. This thing is heavy. Like, you can't do one hand with this thing. Outstanding Talk Series, The Daily Show, Comedy Central, Michael Kosta, host. Whew. Look at that. Memmy? Emmy. This thing is 4 pounds. This thing is around 7 to 8 pounds, I'm guessing. I had to Google that, but hey, it's fun. I should go put these here. Let's put them back here. Put them back here. I'll be right back, YouTube. There we go. So, hey, an award is an award. It feels good when you win. It doesn't really matter when you lose because it's a nomination. Because it's subjective, this whole thing. But hey, it feels nice, you know? As a comedian, as someone who packed up my shit and left for LA 20 years ago, you hope you can make a living. That would have been gravy if I could make a living doing this. You dream that you can be great at it. These little awards and acknowledgement from other people, they're all nice, but I don't think you really get great if you care about that shit. You know what I mean? It's like you have to define what success is for you. And for me, it was being able to pay the bills through this art form that I love, being able to get instantaneous feedback from audience members. That's what stand-up comedy does. That's so amazing. That's what, that's partially why this weekend for me was such a fun weekend, because it's not like I just got on a plane and went to LA. I went and performed in front of people that liked my comedy and laughed at my comedy. We had great shows. So it was this instant feedback from people that consume and like comedy. And then, of course, it was this nice trophy thing where people who wear tuxedos vote, and we won that. And we also work really fucking hard at The Daily Show. So it's nice when people acknowledge that. I should also state that Jimmy Kimmel's show works very hard, and Seth Meyers' show works very hard, and Stephen Colbert's show works very hard. It was something very funny when they announced that The Daily Show won. They have a camera on Jon Stewart. Obviously, Stephen Colbert is right behind Jon Stewart, and Stephen Colbert kind of grabs his shoulders and gives him a good job. But it's also funny because Jon Stewart hired Stephen Colbert on The Daily Show, which then Colbert broke off with the executive producer of The Daily Show, Jon Stewart, and made the Colbert Report, which is still my favorite iteration of Stephen Colbert. And then Colbert eventually left Comedy Central and now has... So it's so funny to say that Colbert lost to Jon Stewart. Also, I am of great benefit that Jon Stewart came back to the show. Do you think The Daily Show would have won with me, Ronnie Chang, Desi Lydic, and Jordan Klepper hosting? I hope so. I really hope so. And I think the show would be the same quality, but Jon Stewart is the Michael Jordan, and he brings a huge punch, quality, elevation, and also, here's probably the bottom line: viewers. I mean, our viewership has gone through the roof, in particular on John's night. But what I think, and here's another thing that's cool about what just happened with The Daily Show. I don't know enough about late night TV, or this was the 76th Emmys, but when has a late night show been nominated, first of all, and second of all, won, where there's multiple hosts listed? And I think this is really cool. I think this isn't something to sneeze at, because networks with increasing pressure on diverse points of view, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, networks are terrified of hiring one single person. And for good reason. Also, it's not like, we're in different times. It isn't just like Johnny Carson speaks for all of America. America, more than ever, is divided, duh. But also, there was division before. It's just got a lot more different types of people in it. And all those people want representation, and there are different points of view offered. And I also would blame and thank the internet for that. So many people don't watch late night TV because they got their podcast guy they listen to, or they listen to their conspiracy theory female YouTube show, whatever it is. So there's lots of different, there's a variety of viewpoints out there. And I think what The Daily Show did by having 4 hosts plus Jon Stewart, 5 hosts, whatever, and then also multiple series of guest hosts, which a lot of those were, but it's showing that late night TV can have multiple personalities host. Now, selfishly, I would love more time at the desk, as I'm sure Ronnie Chang, Desi Lydic, and Jordan Klepper would, but because that's where the audience really gets to know you and gets to understand your point of view. But I also hear from a lot of people that people are loving that the next week is a new host and a new point of view. So that's fun. So it might be right here that these late night shows might start trying out different hosts. And I'm not just saying like 1 week. I'm like, if Seth Meyers leaves, there's going to be a push to replace the straight white male with somebody more diverse, of course, but there's also a lot of straight whites in this country. So they're going to have to balance that, and that's what's interesting. Now, as I'm saying all of this to you, I realize that the 4-5 hosts of The Daily Show, with the exception of Ronnie Chang, are all white. But that's another conversation. And Roy left. Dulce, I don't know what happened to her. We won't get into that. I think she left on her volition. So anyways, the point is, should we have a Spanish-speaking correspondent host? Yes. Should we have this? Should we have this? Should we have this? Yes. But we also have a whole news team and correspondents that represent all different types of people. And I think it's really interesting that a late night show won with 5 listed hosts. I think that's really cool. And I think that's more of that will be happening in the future. That's my opinion. All right. So let's play the big moment, and then we'll talk it out some more. Some of you are not listening anymore because you're like, I thought this was a tennis podcast. Some of you are listening more. Billy Crystal was the one who announced us. And I briefly walked past him, and I wish I would have grabbed his arm because we met years ago with Regis Philbin. Regis and Billy were buddies, and Regis, my mom loves Billy Crystal. My mom gave me Billy Crystal's book. And Regis, classic Reg, telling Regis stories, we went to go see Billy Crystal on Broadway, and Regis set up for us to hang out with Billy Crystal afterwards. Isn't that crazy? And he signed the book to me, and he hung out with us for a few minutes after his show. So as I walked past Billy Crystal, I was like, oh, shit, I should be talking to him right now. But also, we just won an Emmy, and there's a shot clock of 40 seconds counting down, and also Jon Stewart's about to speak. So a lot is going on. It's all fun and gravy, and I am going to enjoy it, and I'm thankful for it. When I look into the crowd and I see Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, I don't think they've won an Emmy for their show. I think, how good and funny are they? And they haven't won one. And, you just have to be so appreciative of the moment because you don't know when these things happen again. My point is those guys deserve an Emmy. And it's time. It's just, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. They also make $20 million a year, which you can sleep pretty good on that. And this is just words. They're just silly words. All right, here's the moment.
Brilliant guy, but I wonder if he's ever seen himself naked.
Billy Crystal talking about Stephen Colbert.
I didn't say they were funny. I said these were first impressions of the show.
He's doing a bit about how important late night is.
I've enjoyed all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Emmy for Outstanding Talk Series. And whoever wins, if you want to have dinner after the show, I'll wait. And the Emmy goes to The Daily Show.
That's all it says, The Daily Show. John gets a little shoulder rub from Stephen, kisses his wife. Stephen and John are hugging.
The Daily Show
They're
received 4 nominations this year. Accepting the Emmy on behalf of the team is Jon Stewart.
Jimmy Kimmel's clapping, Seth Meyers is clapping, he looks pissed. And I'm just running up to the stage. Ronnie and Jordan are first. No one's helping Desi up the stairs with her beautiful dress, including me. Billy Crystal hands John the Emmy, gives him a hug. That's when I should have grabbed Billy. It's so crazy. I'm getting goosebumps doing this. And my apologies if this is very like inside baseball to you. And this is like, why would I want to hear about the television industry? It's so silly because it's just an award. You know that it's subjective. You know that none of this means anything and we're all going to die. And the Emmy is really just a conglomeration of copper, nickel, silver, and metals. But everyone deserves to be recognized for their hard work in every job. And that is what the money's for. Don Draper said that. That's what the money's for. But Hollywood in particular, the people that join Hollywood, we need more pats on the back. We need it more, which is why we created this whole thing in the first place. There's not an award for the best garbage man. There's not an award for the best HR department, but maybe there should be. I don't know. We all deserve to be recognized. It doesn't mean we're going to get it. It doesn't mean that it's going to be accurate, but everyone works hard all the time. And I do want to thank the show business industry for creating these silly awards because it's fun. It's fucking fun. Get dressed up. Get your hair did. Here's John's speech.
You've made an old man very happy. This is remarkable. To have an opportunity to work with this incredibly talented group once a week has just been, it's really made my Mondays. And Michael Kosta, Ronnie Chang, Desi Leidig, Jordan Klepper, my fellow hosts, they just kick ass. But if you really...
Hey, I'll take it. Jon Stewart saying my name on stage amongst the other hosts. Nobody really clapping, then somebody in the back going woo, then they all started clapping. That's nice. That made me feel good. Thank you, Jon Stewart, for even knowing my name.
If you really want to know the heart and soul of the team, if you really want to know the keeper of the flame of The Daily Show, Miss Jen Flans is our executive producer. And Miss Jen Flans has been there since 1998. So
that's true.
Started out as a PA. He's been executive producer for 15 years. And just say to the people.
So as this is happening, there's a giant fucking monitor in the center of the stage that's going, please wrap it up. And then you got 5 seconds and it goes 4, 3. And if you watch John Oliver's speech, because his show is in a different category that's weekly. By the way, that's really the reason we won. We used to be in the same category as John Oliver, which was bullshit for a lot of reasons. One, he's on once a week. So you could argue the writing is better, but the writing, they got 6 more days to fine tune it, whereas we have 1 day. So that was always frustrating to lose to John Oliver when you're going, it's not even a fair fight. So thankfully, they moved him to SNL's category, which he then beat SNL because he's one of the best fucking shows on TV, period. But if you watch John Oliver's speech, he's talking about his dog, and then the music starts to wrap him up, and it's really sad music, and he has to announce that he had to put his dog down. And it somehow was very funny talking about putting his dog down, but also this crescendo of sad music that's telling him to please wrap it up. So here is Jen Flans, who is definitely my boss, who is definitely the keeper of the flame, who is definitely the most important person at The Daily Show, hands down, and is the reason I got hired, is the reason I am still employed, is the reason that I get shots at the desk. I mean, she is this amazing showrunner, executive producer, manager of people, keeper of the flame, as John said, and without her, this Daily Show fucking sucks. So she's a bad motherfucker. John put her on the spot, made her speak. Here it is.
I love our show, and I love the people we work with, and I love working in TV, so thanks. I love John.
Short and sweet. And they play this sad music, and we walk off, and it's great. It's thank you for appeasing me, everybody. Then you go backstage, you do press, this whole Emmy people, they really make you feel like you just won the presidency of the United States, and you have to keep kind of reminding yourself this is a made-up award that we probably pay membership dues to. It's kind of funny. It's like we pay membership dues and we pay to be nominated, and then they grant us our victory, and then we thank them, even though it's just all very funny. But it's funny. It's like watching your kid play pretend dollhouse. It's still fun for them. Is it real dollhouse? Is it a real house? No. Is that doll actually cooking dinner? No, it's fake. It's pretend. But it feels real for her, and she enjoys it, and it's good for her. And that's exactly how I feel about the Emmys. Is this real stuff? No. Is it fun? It is fun. Is it important? Well, that's a whole other discussion. Are the awards important? No. Is the work important? You could make that argument. Do you know how many fucking people stop me and say, thank you, it's the only news we watch? I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is wild how many people all around the country will recognize us from The Daily Show and say, it's the only thing we watch. It's the only news we watch. It's how we get the news. It's how we know that Kamala Harris was nominated. It's how we know that Trump got shot. I mean, it's crazy. So is that The Daily Show? Is that Craig Kilborn? Is that Jon Stewart? I tend to think that's more Jon Stewart, just by the way he approached The Daily Show when he took over after Craig Kilborn. It wasn't as headline driven when Craig Kilborn had the show for a year or 2 years, I forget. But whatever the case may be, people tend to trust us because we're not journalists, because we're comedians. Isn't that fucked up? You shouldn't trust us. Anyways, so that's fun. What else did I have? Seattle, Portland. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. My next date is the Blue Note in Honolulu, Hawaii, October 12 and 13, something like that weekend. I've never played there before. Would love it for you guys to come out who are in Hawaii. If you want to hit some balls, message me, let me know. My back, the goal is for my back to be better in 1 month. My back is a fucking mess again. It was last year at this time. Yes, if you're following. So, not good. What else? We had a lot of fun. It's really weird and strange to carry your Emmy. It's very heavy. Then when you board the airplane, it's like it comes in this huge box and you can't really put it in your suitcase. So a lot of people that have won them before had just said to me, just carry it. So then I'm putting it through security. I mean, it's 10 pounds of metal with 2 daggers on the end. This is the Michigan Emmy. Look at this thing. You could definitely hijack an airplane with this thing. Put it up to his neck, the pilot's neck. If you don't take this to Aspen, Colorado, I'm going to stick these 2 Emmy daggers in your heart. Anyways, we just checked them or just carried them on. All good. A lot of fun. Very strange having people at the JFK airport stop us and take pictures. What? And by the way, it's not like they're like, oh, that's Michael Kosta. They go, can I take a picture with your Emmy? I had to say to people, hey, you can't hold it. Like, I'll hold it. You don't have to take a picture of me, but like, this is New York. Someone's going to run away with it, melt it down, turn it into caps for their teeth. I guess somebody tried to kill Trump again, and that's too bad, and that's terrible, and that shouldn't happen. It's always a white guy. It's always a white guy with an assault rifle. I think the people that didn't vote for Donald Trump, and I'm not saying this is right, but I know a feeling because I've felt it is like, hey, we shouldn't be shooting each other or killing each other, but also Donald Trump, you talk so much shit, you stir the stew so much that what do you expect? And of course, Trump and Vance are now coming out saying the rhetoric by the Democrats is too much, and that's bullshit. One of the things they said was like this whole rhetoric about how if you think democracy's on the ballot, that type of rhetoric creates extreme behavior. And it's like, well, no, he's continually said that the federal election was stolen. So he is threatening democracy in that way. Anyways, it's wild. This whole thing is wild that a guy was hiding in the bushes by the golf course with an assault rifle and a scope. And we don't want to do this, everybody. We are not a nation that should solve its problems through violence. I will also say, in this Atlantic article I read after the first assassination attempt at Donald Trump, all the experts kept saying it's just going to get worse before it gets better. Because these aren't isolated events. There's the Nancy Pelosi husband getting attacked with the hammer. There's Steve Scalise getting shot at a baseball game. There's the Arizona congressperson, I forget, who got shot in a grocery store. There's the Supreme Court, the threats to all the Supreme Court justices that get dealt with. It's just ramping up. And as we get closer to the election, and I mean, there's a part of me that goes, Trump, you talk so much shit. What do you think's going to happen, dude? I don't want you to get hurt. But I also see when you sell fear and rage, people respond with fear and rage. And the Democrats typically sell joy and hope. And I'm not saying that's accurate or a fair depiction of the country. And I don't know what this guy's political motivations were. We still don't know anything about the guy in Pennsylvania, which seems so fucking weird. How do we not know anything about that guy? it's just, if you play dirty, dirty shit happens. And it happens in a randomized way because the environment has been muddled. And it just sucks. It just sucks. And like, are you telling me because we're divided that it's only be fair now if there was attempts on a Democrat's life? Like, this sucks. No, let's not fucking do that. And yeah. It's messed up. And I don't know really what else to say other than what I've said before. Register to vote. Vote. Give blood. Giving blood is a wonderful way to actually help people in need. You don't know who they voted for. You don't know what they look like, but they're in need, and you have something that they need, which is blood, and your body will make more blood. Serve on a jury duty. Do you remember Sebastian Junger, who was on The Daily Show when I interviewed him, who said there's 3 things all Americans can do to be better and to make this world a better place? Vote, give blood, serve on a jury duty. It was negotiated for us to serve on jury duty by our forefathers, and they fought hard for it. And it's sad that we do everything we can to get out of jury duty, but it's important. There was a nice GQ article on me about how I kept losing tennis matches, and it helped me with my tennis. It was written by Kevin Nguyen. Did I say it right? Anyways, I had lunch with him in Manhattan, and he loves tennis. And we talked tennis. We talked U.S. Open, and it was really fun. You can Google it. It's on my Instagram, too. It's really fun to talk to a journalist that really fucking gets the sport. And it was really great. And it just was like, hey, man, you want to buy me lunch and we talk about tennis? Shit, fuck yeah. Let's do it. So check that out. That's a fun article for a lot of you that ask me questions like, what was it like transitioning from tennis to comedy? That's basically what the GQ article is about. Lastly, I thought this was interesting. Janik Sinner adds Panici and Badeo to his team. Janik Sinner has added fitness coach Marco Panici and physiotherapist Ulis Badeo to his team ahead of the Asian swing. Obviously, Asia's about to go on right now. It made me laugh to think Janik Sinner wins the U.S. Open pretty handily, straight sets in the final, and then he adds 2 more physical fitness people to his team. It's a pretty baller move. He won 2 Grand Slams last year. This is a move of saying, like, I'm not satisfied. I'm actually hungry. I'm hungrier, and I want to win more, and I understand the physicality that it takes to win at this level, obviously. The headline I would love to see after this is Taylor Fritz adds these 2 physio guys, or Francis Tiafoe adds these 2 guys. Obviously, it's easier when you just made $3.6 million. Me, as a tennis player, couldn't even afford to have a coach. So the fact that the rich just kind of keep adding more people to their box, which is what you see, right? When we went to the Carlos Alcaraz Botic van Dandersloop match, Botic's got like a 53-year-old gray-haired guy clapping in the box wearing like a Lotto hat and a Nike t-shirt. And then Carlos Alcaraz has like 12 guys all wearing the exact same hat. That's a masseuse, a physio, a mental coach, a chef, a operation management person, a hitting partner, a practice coach. So yes, this is why Janik Sinner will continue to be a bad motherfucker, but also smart move by him to elevate, to raise the ante. And if you're playing and just lost to Janik Sinner, this is news that is pretty scary too. Women are in Asia at the Hana Bank Korea Open, to Thailand Open. Then there's a WTA 1000 September 25th. And there's a WTA 125. Well, that's nothing. Let's talk about the schedule for the men calendar. It is September 17th. Oh, yeah. I ate an edible in Portland and was waiting for it to kick in. And I just, for some reason, the hotel there had Tennis Channel, which made me happy. So I was watching like Chile. I was watching Davis Cup deep into the night, waiting for this thing to hit. And it didn't really hit. But it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch 2 players I hadn't heard of battle hard for their country. That was fun. But I still can't figure out what the fuck's going on with Davis Cup. Davis Cup Finals group stage, that's over. So next up is a ATP 250, China 2 ATP. Then Laver Cup will be in Germany, September 20, 21, 22. ATP 500, September 26th. Shanghai Rolex 1000, October 2nd. That's really, so the next big tournament, Laver Cup. I don't even know if they get ATP points for that. ATP 1000 is Rolex Shanghai Masters, October 2nd. Then we got Paris Indoors, October 28th. And then we got the year-end in Turin, Italy, November 10th, Davis Cup Finals, November 19th. It doesn't help that they call it Davis Cup Finals and then Davis Cup Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tennis Anyone podcast. I am your host, Emmy Award-winning. Thank you for appeasing me. Thank you for listening. I'm happy to take your questions. Direct message me at Michael Kosta on Instagram. And my next road date is Hawaii, then Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center in November. I'll be hosting The Daily Show the week of September 30th. Thank you. It is never lost on me that people have a choice in what they do at night, what they watch, what they consume. And thank you for even just watching one thing or listening to one thing. If it's the Tennis Anyone podcast, if it's the Daily Show, if it's my stand-up, I can't tell you how nice it felt to walk into the theater in Seattle and just see so many people there to watch me do comedy. It was truly, I was touched because I've done comedy for so long. And you have great shows and you have bad shows, but it felt different. It felt like a lot of people were there in support of me, and I very much appreciate it. So thank you, Seattle. Thank you, Portland, Oregon. Mississippi Studios was a freaking awesome place to perform. The acoustics were so good. We had one really packed, sold-out show, which was great. I'd love to go back. And thank you to the Television Academy. Thank you, Jon Stewart. Thank you, Jen Flans. Thank you, Chris McCarthy at Viacom, CBS, Comedy Central, whatever the title is. Thank you for believing in me. Game, set, match. Kosta.